Hello, this is Lisa Phillips, video blogging for Bigger Pockets. Today's episode is when starting out in real estate investing, check your emotions at the door. Buying a home can be a very emotional process. I get it. It's your castle. It's your home. You want to nest in it. However, it has done more for me and my business when I let those emotions at the door and just followed the numbers and treated it like a business. And in many ways, I've made a lot of mistakes because of emotional wants and needs. And I've avoided some whenever I've checked those emotions at the door and just made very calm, logical, mathematical-based decisions. The first one being that a lot of new investors, when they want to purchase their first rental property, they want to buy in the nicest part of town, the town where they can picture themselves living, the town where they want, the place where they want to live. But if they really looked at the numbers, they would see that even though it's a great place to live, the prices of the property are so high that you have negative cash flow. Now, what would be more mathematical and less emotional pull is maybe getting the house in the neighborhood right next to it that has dirty carpets and a dirty walls, which can be easily fixed by any handyman or yourself, and investing there and getting a positive cash flow of at least $250 plus the appreciation that'll come with the neighborhood right next to it. Now, one's more of a mathematical real estate investment type decision you're making, and the other one might be an emotional pull and want. But at the end of the day, you're not going to live there. You need to treat this as something that can earn you more money than you're going to put into it as fast as possible. So when it comes to emotion, those desires and wants and that attachment you get to these homes, especially the nicest homes, isn't necessarily the one that's going to give you the best financial output that you were looking for. And another place that I've seen this, and I have made this mistake myself, is you want to get renters. You put all this money into purchasing the asset. You put this money into carrying the asset. You're putting money into renovating the asset. The only thing you really want is your first rent check to validate all of that work and money that you put into this property. However, that want of the money and to come in so strong makes it so that you take maybe the first tenant that comes along. Now, you can read Bigger Pockets all day long on tons of ideas on tenant screening, and they're very good ideas, but if that emotional wants take over your real estate investment mind, you're going to put people in that shouldn't be in your house that are only going to cause headaches about 3 to 6 months down the road. And sometimes you don't even have to wait 3 to 6 months. It's like this month 2, they start being late. And I've made this mistake. I put people in my house that now as a real estate investor, I shake my head and I do a palm face just because I should not have let them in. They didn't have strong work history and their current jobs didn't facilitate them being able to afford the rent accurately as well either. But I just wanted to have money coming in because I just needed something to help cover the cost of everything I've invested. And nowadays, that emotional want I turn down and I have to think very logically about it without the emotions. Well, I need someone that fits this criteria, that has this type of credit, and makes this much a month with this much work history. So yeah, I want to take that first applicant I get even before the place is renovated when you're getting them in. But if I have to pass, I do that now, and it's not an emotion-based decision. It's completely far removed for that. So that has helped me learn from my mistakes from the past and has really helped me going forward as real estate investing in the future. And the other part I wanted to mention that I have suffered from with emotional a baggage that you sort of develop as you're going in real estate investing is emotional attachment to contractors and emotional involvement with your tenants. I like to be as far removed as possible. So currently now my strategy is property manager. So they have to tell my property manager their sob stories of why they can't pay the rent each month on time. But I just get to be the person behind the scenes that no one sees that says, you know, listen to their stories, tell them you're sorry, but make sure you do that 10-day pay or quit notice depending on what city you're in. And so I like that emotional distance so I don't have to get emotionally involved. Now, if you want to, like I used to in the past not have property management, and I would deal with it, and I would, you know, counsel them if they asked for it about money management. I'd give them tips and tricks. I'd ask them what was wrong. I'd work with them when they told me they needed to be worked with. But that emotional involvement just only breeds more headaches and anxieties, versus if you're very firm and strict to the rules that you set out with in the beginning, you really dilute that and your life is a lot easier, because you know, if this then that. If they don't pay, you immediately do that, regardless of what emotional appeal that they might give you to explain away why they're not holding up their part of the contract. And I have to say, with contractors are, well, you know, you get emotionally involved with one contractor, but you can always terminate the relationship, as you know, when it's really not working out, and get someone else. Like, it doesn't have to be this emotional pull. So when I've learned to just go by firm documentation, which I'm a big fan of, and going, hey, this is in the contract, this is what I expected, I didn't get this, and here are pictures to back it up, that's when emotionally that was out of the game, and it was pure logic, papers, and numbers. So as I go forward, I get even more addendums or parts to the contract with contractors, and adding more clauses just to safeguard myself, because it's so easy to just turn to the contract versus an emotional expectation of what someone should do. It's written down. So the more emotions that come out of the game, the more your documentation raises for both your tenants and your contractors. So I see both my leases and my contractor statement of works becoming bigger and bigger, just because, you know, you learn from the past and keep putting them in, so that it can be a very emotionless type business. So I hope that the trials that I went through and how I've learned to deal with them can help you when you're starting out in real estate investing. And this is Lisa Phillips. Thank you for taking the time to listen. Video blogging for bigger pockets. Thank you very much.